Okay, I think we will get started. Hey Fern, it's good to see you here. We're in the Skylands because apart from this one island, the rest of it is kind of a mess. So I thought let's kind of tidy it up and do some bits and pieces. So I have started doing things like that. I've decided all of my platforms are gonna look like this for the lift thingos, but I haven't done all of them yet. I've done maybe half, and yeah, and then I have to finish all of my roads, which are all gonna look like this now, which means putting all of these concrete borders in and all my cobblestones. This bit here is where I want to have what's his face, Score Bunny, have their line, and I was kind of wanting to do like a what do you call it, like a sporting goods store type of situation, but we don't have a lot of gym type items, so I'm not sure. Oh, what you got, Vulpix? Thank you. We love getting seeds. Yes, good. I don't have enough wheat in my life. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if we'll do this today, but that is on my list of things to do. And then also, eventually, I'm going to get around to restoring the gym, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to restore it like as an actual gym, or if we should turn it into more of like a nightclub type of space, because it definitely has that vibe with all the neon and everything. But then also, do we keep, because I've heard, I don't really remember clearly from the original games, it's been ages since I played them, but apparently the down here bit is meant to be the Team Rocket hideout or something like that. That's so fair, Fern. Can't relate, but I know enough celiacs in my life to understand vicariously what that feels like. Oh, and then this kind of monstrosity looking situation here is going to be Tink's house, I think. Or at the very least, a monument to Tink Master. Because I did tear down her original junk tower type of thing, which made me feel a little bit bad, but I felt better about it knowing that I will be constructing something for her here. I'm glad it does look like a hammer. As I was building it, I was getting increasingly gaslit by my own self, thinking, does this actually look like a hammer shape? Like, because I wanted it to kind of look like her hammer, you know, and her hammer is kind of very interesting looking. It's not a traditional hammer shape, but I'm not sure if the proportions are right, which is why it's still made of sand. And why it's not anything different right now, because I'm not 100% sold on it yet. But I did know that I wanted it to have the elevator in there. It had to have an elevator, and it has to be hammer shaped. That's what I've decided. That's about as far as I've gotten. And then down here, we might do this part today. Down here, I want to do like a little playground sort of spot, just to be a little bit cute. Yeah, I agree. It is more like a Warhammer sort of shape. It's definitely not actually built for construction. But yeah, I was sort of trying to base the proportions on like the pictures and stuff. And yeah, I do think once it's all colourful and stuff, it'll look cuter and it'll make more sense. This one, don't worry about that crazy looking land bridge in the distance. That was how I decided to get Gyarados over here. This whole situation is my most concerning spot, I think, because being the like landing island where we started up in the Skylands, I just sort of threw a whole bunch of stuff down and made a bunch of habitats and all of that sort of stuff, and I haven't she was absolute. Oh, there she is. She's playing Chasey with Froakie. That is absolutely adorable. She's definitely made for bonking enemies. 100%. I don't know about you guys, but watching them play tag, I should say, we call it Chasey in Australia, but watching them play tag together is one of the joys in my life. Every time I watch them, it's just the cutest thing ever. I saw Steelix and who was he playing with? Smearguru. Steelix and Smearguru playing Chasey together, and it was just so cute because Steelix is massive and he's slow and he was in a small spot and there was no way he was gonna get away. You know, Smearguru was it. He got him, and that was the end of the game. But it was super cute. And yeah, so I think this section will be a bit more of a residential part of the city. Like, I want all of the Skylands to eventually look like the city. Well, not, I was going to say like the city it was originally intended to be, but that's not what I want to do. But I do want it to give more of a city vibe than the other biomes, I think. Except for maybe Bleak Beach, that's kind of turning into a coastal city town type situation. But Fern, that is so sad. Not being hunted for sport. That's upsetting. Look, I don't know. I don't know about you, but Kiss Chasey was huge when I was a kid, and that felt like being hunted for sport. You did not want to be kissed by the boys in primary school. That was absolutely the worst thing that could happen to you in your life. But yeah, and then in terms of like because I want these to still be quite city like, I don't care if what, Kiss Chasey? Did you guys, is that just an Australian thing maybe? I've heard of Bulldog. I do know roughly what that is, but yeah, Kiss Chasey was literally just boys versus girls, and if you were yeah, when you know we're doing our own thing over here, but yeah, if you were not fast enough, then you would get kissed, and it would be really unfortunate for you, and you'd get teased forever because yeah, almost everywhere in Australia is quite large. But yeah, I'm in South Australia, which is one of the smaller states that we have here. But even for us in South Australia, you know, if you drive, like I know people talk about like sizing of countries and stuff like that, and you know, like in Europe and England and stuff like that, you guys drive for 2, 3, 4 hours and you're in a whole other country. Whereas we can drive, even in SA, we can drive for 3 or 4 hours, I reckon, and we'd still be in the same state. We wouldn't even make it out of South Australia. But yeah, so I don't care too much if like these edges aren't natural. I'm quite happy for them to be relatively square and stuff. I just need to like fix up the bottoms so that it looks like an actual cliff and not just like a platform on top of a cliff, which I think is where we might start because that feels like the easiest job to do. But yeah, how are you going, Fern? Oh yeah, the majority of like all the middle part is arid desert. So you can't really live there unless you're a camel, I guess. Um, and yeah, you can't grow anything there and stuff like that, so it wouldn't really make sense for anybody to be trying to live there. But yeah, we're all around the edges basically. And South Australia, as the name suggests, is down the bottom. We're at the tail end, except we're still connected to the rest of the country. Tasmania is our state that's not physically connected to anything. It's an island, but it's still a state in its own right. And then people make fun of people that come from Tasmania all the time, and we say things like they've got like 2 heads and stuff like that because they're not attached. Well, that sounds interesting. What's art fight? That's cool. Okay. It is quite sheer on this side, but I don't think I'm terribly bothered by it. Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of that before. That sounds like fun. Do you do that often, Fern, or is that like a scheduled thing that happens at certain times of the year or something? Oh yeah, cool. Well, good luck. You'll have to tell us in the Discord how that goes. It sounds fun. I like drawing too, but I think I would be too nervous to do something like art fight. That sounds quite intense, and I don't think my skills would be to a point where I'd be like, yeah, sure, I can draw someone else's characters and stuff. Oh no. Are there lots of teams that join it? Because that would be, I feel like that would be hard if there's heaps. And we need to move Dragapult because I've left him on a tiny little piece of island because I couldn't be bothered. Where is he? Oh my god, he's so big. Why? Sir, please. Excuse me. Okay, thank you. I hate it when the flying ones in particular do that, when you call them with honey and they're just above you, hovering ominously. Yeah, that's cool. Comedy, tragedy, and mystery. Just all the time. All the time. He's always in the way with that huge curled piece of tail. I do like Dragapult though. The Dreepy line is pretty cool. I will say that. Now you can live just right here for the moment, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like mystery would be quite hard to convey in a drawing. Oh my god, look at these guys. More tag. More chasey. They're so cute. I do need to figure out what to do with the Froakie line too, actually. Just looking at Frogadier there. We need to figure out where he's gonna go. And their line. I like to keep the evolutionary lines together for the most part, but not all of them get to stay together. Okay. I reckon I might... do I want to shear this all off? I feel like I do. I've done it on the other two sides, so I may as well. Because I sort of feel like I want like very defined lines of this is the edge of that particular island. I know some of them are just so out of control in the way that the evolutions get bigger and bigger as they go. Like I don't know if the whole Dreepy line can live together. I don't really want all the Tinks to live together either, because I had an idea for the little baby girls, and the idea that I have for them won't make sense with Tink Master involved, and she feels like she deserves her own home. You know, she's done so much for us. She forced us to build the Sylph Co. You know, we just, she deserves to have her own spot. It would be so interesting to see how any like biologist type person feels about the world of Pokemon. She is the construction mistress. That's 100%. That's it. That's her job. And we love her for it. I do always find it interesting how much people like just refuse to build without her. You know, like she's got to be on literally every construction team. And I'm like, guys, it's a windmill. It's going to take, what, 15 minutes? You don't have 15 minutes to spare? Come on now, give Tink a little break. Let her rest for a second. But yeah, I feel like she needs her own space, which is why I wanted to build her a giant hammer-shaped house. Just for Tink. Because she, oh whoops, that's the wrong stone. That one. Is that how I was doing the other ones? No. No, it is not. We're going like that. I know, just all the time. I feel bad dragging Smearguru and in particular, but I would feel bad dragging Tink around all the time as well. I think for me, I don't build enough prefab structures that require her services, and that's probably why I'm like, why is she here all the time? Like, let her have a little rest. But I guess it probably does make sense if you're building stuff constantly that you have to wait for and all of that sort of thing. But I'm also not opposed to time traveling. Whereas I know some people don't like to do that or can't do it because of other games that they play as well, which is fair. Now, I don't really know how I want all the underside of this to look. I do have a little lift here because I don't want to keep the stairs on the other side. I want that to just sort of be like, this is cliff and you must use the elevator to get up here so that you can use those stairs to go up there, rather than having it be like fully in the way, because otherwise you can't really see that you can go down these stairs to get over to that island to Tink's huge hammer in the distance. Yeah, that's what I've heard for Tomodachi Life. I think some people perhaps just get a bit nervous that they're going to stuff it all up or something. Always with the PP. We are forever out of PP. But yeah, like Animal Crossing, I time travel all the time, constantly, back and forth. You know, I go to particular seasons and stuff like that if I want to set my island to have a particular what's the word? Yeah, if I want the island to have a particular seasonal vibe. Excuse you. There we go. And I don't play Tomodachi Life. I couldn't really get into it, and the bits of like gameplay that I've seen from other YouTubers and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if that's really for me. It just seems a little odd. It kind of freaks me out. All the like the Miis and the way they talk to each other and stuff. Yeah, that's fair, Fern. The Switch 2 is the most expensive Nintendo console that I think I've ever seen. I mean, I never had a GameCube because we weren't really a Nintendo console family. We were a PlayStation family, and that's because Mum said you choose one and that's all you get, which is also fair enough. But yeah, so the only Nintendo consoles I've ever really had have been all the handheld ones. But I don't feel like, even for the time, I don't feel like the Wii and things like that were all that expensive. feel like they were all pretty reasonable except for the Switch 2. I feel like this is the most money I've ever spent on a Nintendo console, and it felt odd to spend so much on it. But I was feeling like I was going to be missing out. FOMO played a very large part. I wanted to do the Animal Crossing Switch 2 update that they made, the Switch 2 version and all that sort of stuff. Because I was going to wait until there was like a special edition console for the Switch 2. Yeah, see, that's cool that you've got like actual characters that you want to put in there and everything. I wouldn't even know. I don't have anyone that I would be like, yeah, cool, I want to make a caricature version of you kind of stuff. But I know like lots of people do have that sort of stuff for themselves, and that makes sense. But yeah, you're right. Like with most things, it's not for everyone. But it would be cool to bring like your OCs to life. That would be pretty cool. Now I'm not super sold on how boxy that is, but I'm gonna leave it like that for now because I still don't fully know what I want to do there. But I am gonna fix this under here because that bothers me. Oh yeah, I don't know if I ever played My Sims, but I loved The Sims, and I reckon I was around. I'm an old person now, so I was around for the very first Sims, I reckon, and then Sims 2 was like crazy, but because we were like I said, we were a PlayStation household in terms of like the family console. I didn't really get to play like any of that stuff. My first Animal Crossing game was oh my god, I can't think of what it's called now. The 3DS one. Is that Wild World? I think. That was my first Animal Crossing. New Leaf, thank you. Yes, New Leaf, that's the one. I think Wild World was on GameCube, maybe. Oh, 2003, Fern. I was in high school in 2003. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense why it's in my memory, because it was in the 90s. I'm old enough that I was a player of the very first Pokemon games when they originally came out. And I realized pretty quickly that I didn't really have any friends at school that were like also gamers or anything like that. So no one that I knew was also playing Pokemon. And that was a little bit sad to find out, because like those earlier games in particular had a lot more restrictions and locks and that sort of stuff on like evolutions and things. Like trading evolution was huge, and you had to have a friend who had the game and a Game Boy, the same as yours, and you both obviously had to have Pokemon, but you had to get a link cable to physically connect your consoles together. Oh, again with the PP. And you had to literally link trade, and that was the only way that you could get stuff like Gengar and all of them. Yeah, LAN cables, that's the one. And it was quite a time. So I originally had a Game Boy Color. It was purple because that's my favorite color. And I had Pokemon Blue, and I've always been like, I don't know if you know this, but they kind of, the Pokemon company have kind of coded all of their series to be either blue or red variants. So I have always been a blue variant person. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, we were very excited when we had our first like PC in the house and everything that my sister and I were allowed to use. And I had my first couple of games on floppy disk. And I've seen other people talk about when like younger, like teenagers and stuff like that, will ask them about floppy disks, and you're like, yes, they were literally floppy. It looks exactly like the save picture in Word and all of that sort of stuff. And you had to, because they obviously didn't have a whole lot of memory on them or anything like that, you had to, if you wanted to have a game, you had to save it across like heaps of discs. Oh, that's really cool, Fern. Embroidery and beading wall scroll of Gastrodon. That's wild. That's going to look really cool when it's finished. Yeah, I've always been a massive Pokemon nerd, and every time I meet people that are like, oh yeah, I like Pokemon too, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, you know, trying to talk about favorites and things like that. And and they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, like I only know like the original 150 from the OG Pokedex, and I'm like, well, you're not really a Pokemon fan then, are you? Like, I'm sorry, it probably makes me sound really snobbish, but you can't say that you're currently a fan like that if you don't even know some of the others. Like, I know you can't know all of them. A lot of the newer ones. That's pretty impressive. I loved Legends Arceus. That was, I think that's my favourite spin-off Pokemon game that I've ever played. I was a bit disappointed with Legends ZA because it just didn't have the same vibe. I did start playing it again the other day just to see if I liked it, and I think because I'd been watching Crossing Minutes video, not video, his VOD of shiny hunting in Scarlet Violet. You know, sometimes the Pokemon chat finds you, and you know, there's not a lot that you can do about that. When you're getting into the nitty gritty, you know, you have to finish that conversation. But yeah, I don't have, none of my work friends are Pokemon nerds, which is really disappointing. None of my students are Pokemon nerds, so I can't even distract them with Pokemon chat. I mean, that's fair. You see Pokemon, you have to ask. Because you just have to know. You have to know if they're also the same level as you. Do they also love Pokemon? But yeah, I have a Pokemon leg sleeve that I'm working on. I call it a patchwork sleeve because we're not doing like the full like mapping out the entire thing all at once, like in we're not mapping, we didn't map out the entire thing, that's what I meant. In the beginning, we've just sort of added the ones that I like based on the flashes and stuff that she has as we go. No, but that would be really funny. I mostly teach agriculture, so it's probably a little bit harder for me to slide in Pokemon chat because, I mean, my kids all know that I am a massive nerd. Like they're all aware, very much so, and they do like to talk with me about the things that I nerd out about and all that sort of stuff. But I have not put together a quiz like that. It would be pretty funny. I should try and do something like, is this a sheep breed or a Pokemon or something like that, and see how many of them get confused, because they don't really know a lot of that sort of stuff, like breed names and things like that. So I could probably trick them. Yes. Is this a Pokemon plant or the scientific name for a crop? That would really get them, because they know absolutely nothing about crop species. But sometimes it's concerning how little these kids know when I'll be like talking about cereal crops most recently, which is, you know, where our glutinous friends come from. And they'll be like, what's barley? I'm like, what do you mean what's barley? What kind of a question is that? But what do you use oats for? I can't entertain that conversation. I'm so sorry. You can't ask me that oh no. And now I'm dead. That's what I get for not paying enough attention. But yeah, that might be a fun way to come back to term 3, because I'm on school holidays right now. I've got one more week after this, and then we have to go back to school. And yeah, people just really don't understand stuff like that, and sometimes it's funny. It is winter break for us over here at the moment. Most schools only get 2 weeks, which is like a normal term break for us, because I know it's not the same in every country, but our whole school year is broken up into 4 terms. So we don't do like a whole semester's worth and then just have like one bigger break in the middle. We do 4 separate terms, and we usually get 2 weeks break in between each of those terms, except for the Christmas break. That's the long one for us. But the school that I work out now, we get 3 weeks in the middle, which is very, very nice. And I do like to gloat about that to my teacher friends that don't work in the same school. Okay. What else have we got? Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to shear off this side, wasn't I? Yeah, so I'm in the 2nd week of holidays now, which is good. I do still have to go into work every now and then though, which is not as good, but it's good in a way, because I do my, like, I don't know what the equivalent is in other countries, because but my co-curricular is what we call it, or like extracurricular or whatever. Like, I don't do a sport team or anything like that. I do cattle club. So we prepare cattle for show. And the kids wanted to do training in the holidays for this break because it's the longer break. They didn't want the animals to lose the momentum that they've built up and things like that. So it's good that they're passionate about it, but it does mean that I have to spend extra time at work when I'm supposed to be on holidays, but that's okay. I'd rather be hanging out with the animals than having to do other schoolwork. Oh yeah, after school clubs, that makes sense. But yeah, we're gearing up for our big show at the moment. So in South Australia, we have one called the Royal Adelaide Show, and that's like our big show or fair, I guess, for an American context. That's our big one for the year. So we take the cattle down there, and no, I don't want that line there. And yeah, it's good fun, but it's 3 full days down at the show with the kids and the animals, and they're like really long days, and it's quite tiring by the end of it. And then almost every year the kids will ask me if we can like book a like a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that for everyone to stay in together, like in like while we're at the show, because most of the kids live probably at least 45 minutes to an hour away from the showgrounds. Oops, I didn't want to do that. And so they'll be like, "Oh, miss, can we like rent somewhere? Like a lot of the other area schools do that and stuff." And I'm like, I don't want to spend extra time with you people having to care for you in that context. Like that sounds like my nightmare, to be perfectly honest. I don't want to spend overnight time with my teenagers. That would be just awful. That's not it for me. It's not the vibe. And then they get a bit offended, but it's pretty funny. Because they're like, "Well, why not? Why don't you want to spend extra time with us?" I'm like, "Because I would like to go home, actually, at the end of those days. I'd like to go home and settle down in, my comforts and things. And I don't know if I like what I'm doing here. Because then I'm going to have to shape all of that." Yeah, see, exactly. You get it, Fern. You get it. It's just, yeah. I've done camps before. I don't love them a whole lot. Like it's a different level of duty of care that you have to have. This is where we're going to bring Mr. Mime here and we're going to walk him off and then see you later. He's kind of... okay, so what I thought was, I'll just, I'll just make this edge nice and even. And then I realized the further I go along here, the further out it gets from the rest of that island. And I don't really want to have to fill all of that in because that's more work for myself later. So we're actually gonna not do that. Mr. Mime currently lives in Pallet Town, and I had to put him in a cave because he was harassing some of the other Pokemon, and I did not like that. Oh my god, that is horrifying, Fern. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're having to endure that. That would just jump scare me all the time. That's really uncool of him to be doing that. And I think the authorities probably need to be notified that he's creeping around. Because that's just not cool. Nobody asked for that. Sleep paralysis is correct. He is 100% a sleep paralysis demon. I get that. Have you seen all the jails and stuff that people have built for him? They're so funny. I was showing my son because I just happened to be looking at a video, and my son is quite nosy, so he was like, "What are you looking at?" And I showed him, and he thought that was the best thing he's ever seen in his life, and and said, "Give me 20 more." And I was like, "Oh, okay." They're so good. I love the underground ones and everything, with the whole the face scanning and all of that sort of stuff. So funny. It's so good. It's where he belongs, and I feel like, you know, the people who don't understand the Mr. Mime lore are the people who have never really paid attention to either the games or the original cartoon. Because the original cartoon, I think, is where a lot of our Mr. Mime trauma began. You know, we're trauma bonded with Ash. I feel for him. I feel for that boy. He's endured enough, you know? He's facing down Pokemon gods all the time, and all he gets is Mr. Mime for a stepdad. Like, what do you mean? That's just not... I feel like, you know, again, we need to call the authorities for him too. Is Ash's mum okay? That's the real question. I'd be screaming too, to be perfectly honest, if I accidentally created his habitat. I actually saw, like, you know, the little half a kitchen bit that's usually like when you first come into Sparkling Skylands, is like up in this sort of spot where the waterfall is. That bit gave me the habitat information. He trapped children in boxes in Arceus. As in, like, Arceus the show? That's wild. I don't think I've watched that. But yeah, mine, like, that's where I got his habitat information, and I immediately took those pieces apart. Oh, I don't remember that. Is that written in his Pokedex entry in Legends Arceus? I haven't opened that game in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's right. Oh, yes, I remember doing that. Just being like, come back here, you little jerk. What are you doing? Also, Drifloon in Legends Arceus. Quietly concerning. I told my son about his lore as well, because I was like, oh, you know, all the ghost Pokemon are just a little bit sad. And he was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you know how Drifloon likes to play with children? He likes to play with children just a little bit too much. And, you know, just, oh my god, Drifloon, look, I love that little balloon. He's super cute, but also stay away from the kids. Like, they cannot all come back and play with you forever. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. Yeah, I feel like people give Drifloon a pass because he's super cute, which, you know, that's valid. I give him a pass too because he's adorable. But Mr. Mime gets no passes, nor should he. And who else is there? Oh, I love, I think I talked about it in the video where I built Ditto's home, because that's where Mimikyu lives as well, because Mimikyu is my baby and I love her. Yes. Scrunkled, I think, is a word I've never come across before, Fern. What does that mean? Mr. Mime is not cool at all. Nor is Mr. Rhyme. I forget which game he was in. Oh yeah, ugly cute makes sense. I get that. Scrunkle is excellent. That's good slang. Yes, Score Bunny, what would you like? Thank you for the stick. Just one, because I don't have enough of them. Thank you for that. I'll put that with the rest. Who else is there? Oh, no worries, Fan. I jumped on ZA the other day, yesterday I think it was, because I was just in the mood to do some normal Pokemoning, and I did a little side quest for some kid who was like, oh no, my sister like followed this Litwick, and you know, and she hasn't come back and all of this sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, no worries, I'll help you find her. And you know, and we find her and everything, and the Litwick had taken this girl into the sewers, which was super not cool. And then like by the end of it, the kid's like, oh yeah, no worries, like I'm all good, I just wanted to share some of my life force with Litwick because it was looking kind of sad. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Has your mother not told you to not share your life force with Pokemon? Like that's not on. I couldn't imagine if my son came home and was like, oh yeah, guess what, Mum? Today I shared some of my life force with a sick looking Litwick. I would not be cool with that. But then also, by the end of it, so you're like, oh yeah, no worries, you know, this kid seems to be okay in the end. And then the end of it is the Litwick like jump scares you. It like does this little fade out like fade out thing, and then you turn around and it's like bam, and the Litwick is right in your face, and you're like, excuse me, I didn't realize I had signed up for a horror film. I'm so sorry. Fern, I was just saying I ran into the Litwick side quest in Legends ZA and got Litwick is really cute. He's a little emo baby. But the side quest that I ended up doing gave me a little bit of pause, and now I'm not sure if I actually like Litwick or not. Or maybe just not that particular iteration of Litwick. It was a little bit spooky, and I was not prepared for spooky in that situation. Okay, so I don't think I want to. I was just building this up, and now I'm thinking I don't actually want all of this, but also Suicune's house is down here, and this is where Score Bunny and fam live. So I think, yeah, I mean, that's fair. I would put Litwick on my team too. They live in, the next video that will be coming out next week is actually a haunted house, which is where Litwick's family have ended up living. Plus a couple of others. Yeah. I think you're right. I think we'll try and do some natural brutalism over there. But in the meantime, I'm gonna finish this pathway situation. Oh, not like that, like this. I'm gonna finish this because I started it and then I ran out of materials. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Haunted Mansion. I think it looks pretty cool. It took me way longer than I thought it would because I didn't realize just how much I did not know how I wanted to make the house shape, because I haven't really done like Victorian Edwardian type of design in this game in particular. And I realized it was really hard. And like making the roof was the bit that got me. Yeah, for sure. I love the fact that you can just do whatever you want in whatever way you want to do it, and there's no right or wrong. That's pretty awesome, and I do love that about sandbox games as well. I love like seeing all the different things that people have put together and the different ways that everyone's interpreted like all the biomes and stuff in Pokopia. That's been really cool too. Oh, again, I do that all the time. I ended up with all these random bits of farm soil for a while because I kept accidentally turning grass into tilled soil. Fern, I feel like you are going to do some really cool stuff when you get your hands on this game. Come back here. What do you have to say? Any day is a perfect day whenever I get to see you, Ditto. Oh, that's nice. Thanks for always being there, bestie. Aww. Yes, Fern. I was never a Minecrafter. I think I missed the boat in the beginning, and then as an adult person, I was always like, nah, I'm good. I can't really handle the level of pixelation in that game, and then I don't fully understand it. Like, my son loves Minecraft, and he's all about it. And he shows me stuff that he's done and is doing and things like that, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if my child is unhinged. And then other times I'm like, that was pretty cool. He likes to blow stuff up a lot. I feel like that's pretty standard for boys though. They're very destructive. Oh. Okay. Will I fall today is the question. Oh, yes. Ah! Caught it. This is what I don't like about trying to terraform in the Skylands is fall down. Yeah, see, I don't even know about that sort of stuff, like texture packs and whatnot. But it's cool that you can actually do that and make things not so blocky and unappealing to the eye. Oh, that's so cool, Fern. I've seen like some like really big stuff that people have done, like sculptures like that, or what's the word? What am I thinking of? Like fictional places like Rivendell and all that sort of stuff in Minecraft, and that does look very cool. It also looks like a lot of effort, so I applaud all of you who build like that. I don't think I have the wherewithal to do something quite like that. But having an art teacher uncle is pretty awesome. I didn't have any artsy people in my family. I was the only one, apparently. This is so tedious. Yeah, you can't be artsy and not be a kooky kind of person. It goes with the territory, I think. I love my art teacher friends at work. They're some of my favourite people. They're so unhinged. And the English teachers. The English teachers and the art teachers, they're my faves. Okay, so that's mostly... Oh no, this bit's hanging. Now! I wanted punchy. And then get rid of that. And then that's the line. Oh, that's so much to get rid of. Ooh, game design at college and uni would have been cool. That would have been so fun, I feel. I don't know if we even really had stuff like that when I was at uni. But then again, things like game design and like digital art and stuff like that was really not big. Like no one was really doing that sort of stuff. Because like one of the things that I wanted to do when I was in high school was be like a character designer. And so I wanted to do, I was heavily into anime for a very long time and I liked that style of drawing. And I'd sort of thought to myself, I would really love, whoops, oh well. I would really love to do something like that and like just do the design of the characters and then somebody buys that off me or I get commissioned for it or whatever. And then off they go and they can animate it and pose it and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of those sorts of degrees and courses and stuff crop up in the last few years. We actually have the school that I work at. We have a full game design like subject that you can do in year 11, and I think there's a year 12 version as well. That's our, like, I teach the last 2 years of high school, the seniors, and yeah, that's been quite popular, which is really cool. It's cool to see more creative people getting those sorts of opportunities as well. Yeah, exactly. That was the vibe that that I wanted at that particular point of my life. And yeah, my family were not very behind that. They didn't really understand what any of that meant. And so then it was like, well, you know, like art doesn't pay well and you won't make any money out of it unless you're dead and all of that sort of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I won't do that then. I'll just go into teaching instead. Which is, that's not what I did straight away, to be fair. But yeah, I think that sort of work would be pretty cool, especially obviously if you're good at it. You'd be fairly in demand, I would imagine. Is that the level that we're at? Yes, okay. So we'll make all that grass for now. So that I remember where we're at. Ooh, making your own game would be really cool. I feel like indie games are like not necessarily more popular, because that's kind of the point of an indie game, is that it's not mainstream and stuff like that. But that would be really cool to make your own game. I like trying to find indie games to play. I really got into, before Pokopia came out and took over my entire soul, I started really getting into those sort of pixel art games. Like I played Unpacking and loved that. And then I found Whisper of the House, I think it's called, where you have the little robot that you unpack with, and you do like fix up people's like houses and storefronts and all of that sort of thing. And that was really fun. But then, you know, then Pokopia came out and I was like, okay, bye. Have a wonderful time. I'll see you later. But that's okay. The hyperfixation will end at some point, I'm sure. It usually does. What style of game do you think you would make, Fern? Yeah, that's fair. I don't fully understand coding now, but I did at one point in life because of the job that I was working at the time. But that's cool. It's hard doing that sort of stuff with dyslexia. But that's pretty cool. A story-driven platformer would be nice. I like watching other people play things like Silk Song, but I don't think I would play it myself. But it does look very cool. Oh my god. I feel like they need to do something about the PP situation. It's getting a bit dire. I feel like I'm always out of PP. It's also kind of funny watching people who probably haven't really played any of the older, like the mainline platform games and stuff like that. The mainline Pokemon games, I mean. Talking about how much they don't like having to say PP. But that's what it is. That's what it's called. Oh, Cozy Caravan, I think, is on my wish list in Steam. I think. If it's not, I'll have to put it in there. I didn't know it was made in Australia. Oh, yeah, Cozy Caravan. Oh, yes, that is in my wish list. Because that seems super cute. Anytime I get to be not human, I'm down. I'm here for it. Okay. I feel like I got a bit off track again, but that's okay. Oh, that's cool. Look at our government go. Sometimes they do good stuff. Every now and then, you know? Okay. I think I need to make all of this cobblestone. But it's gonna... I don't know that I want to, because I feel like that's gonna look really bland. Like it's gonna be too much cobblestone. But I don't want it to stay as the regular stone tile either, because I don't like its natural colour, which means I'm going to want to paint it, and I don't want to paint it because that's going to take a lot of paint, and I've already been using heaps because currently working on a, what's it called? Like a White Lotus type swanky hotel situation in Bleak Beach. And that is taking so much cyan paint. And I'm a bit of a hoarder, so anytime that I have, you know, less than like 10,000 paint or whatever. The dyeable broken tile. Oh, like that pretty mosaic one. Which one? Actually, that's a smaller list. Like that one, the broken tiling wall. That does have some nice colours, and that would add a nice bit of a different texture to the situation, because I just want like around, yeah, I just want around the building to be different, because otherwise like this bit's fine because that's quite narrow, but all under the stairs back here and everything, that's a big chunk to make cobblestone. I feel like that's too much. Let's go have a look at what colours we can make that one that'll fit, because I've got like the main the stone tile that's the main pathway is in that paler purple colour, the violet I think it's called. Yeah, yellow or orange could be nice, because I've seen some of the colours that it does, and it makes like a really nice what's the word, like almost a rainbow shimmer type situation regardless of what colour you give it. And if you've been curious as to what my storage looks like, it's just literally an underground bunker. Nothing fancy going on over here, but I do have a bit of it. I think I need more of that too. And I know I see other people, like other creators, do like all these beautiful things and whatnot, and I'm like, that is so nice, but also I could never. I just have like, it's all organized, which is all I really wanted out of a storage space. Let's make that many. And then we have to go find Mr. Smeary. I'm going to put one back, otherwise it's not an even number. And I'll put the rest of that stuff away later because I've got plenty of space in my pockets. Okay, I never recorded the making of Smear Guru's house, but this is his house. He lives next to the paint fellas because he loves them. He's over there all the time. It's really, really cute. He's always over there playing with them. But yeah, he has the broken mosaic around his house. Hello, my good sir. Paint some tiles for me. See, I like the white, and I've seen that look really nice. The yellow's cute. I think that blue's a bit too blue for what we want. I don't really like that mint green is nice, or teal, I think it probably is, but that's not super cute. I think I don't know if the orange will be too contrasting. Definitely not purple or brown or pink. That's a nice shade, but I feel like I do that grey blue and cyan like everywhere. Almost everything I paint is in cyan or grey blue. Yeah, I think that green somewhere else would be really nice. That's giving mermaid-esque vibes. Let's do some white. We'll just do 20 because I don't like wasting all my paint. And then let's do some yellow. Yes, very Mediterranean as well. Absolutely. And what else have we got? I do like the cyan, but I've been using a lot of cyan in the hotel that I'm doing in Bleak Beach, and because I'm using a lot of the path borders, it takes heaps of paint to colour them, which is really upsetting. I don't mind the grey, but I don't think that's really the vibe for that particular part. The black's cool. The light pink is very light pink. I feel like it should have more variation to it than it does. Like, it doesn't seem to have the same kind of shimmer on it. But we can make some because I've got millions of pink paint. The black is really cool. I don't think it'll fit what we want to do. Yeah, exactly. I thought that it would have a bit of a different, like, more tones to it. Like, this is the grey blue, and that's really pretty, and it's got multi colors in it, which is really nice. And then I think, did I do a different color up here, or did I do the same? No, I did the same. But yeah, this is his little artist bit up the top here. And he definitely comes up here because I washed that the other day to see if he would come up here again. And he did, because he's painted a landscape, which is so cute. I absolutely love that. All right, let's go see what color we like in the context. Right? Thank you, Fern. It is super cute. I love Smearguru's house. I would live there. I would live there in a heartbeat. He's got a cute bed under the stairs. I wish you could hang his paintings up. It would be so, so cute. But all you can do is take the whole easel. Like, you don't get just the painting to make it a print like that meadow one there. You get the entire easel, which is fine. But you can't just hang the painting itself. Oh my god. You know, usually, like, Pupitar lives in this little city house, and he is normally, every time I come out of my little city house, standing right here, staring at me. It's really quite unsettling. I don't like it. You should make him an art exhibit, Fern. When you get your hands on this game, he deserves an art exhibition. All right, let's actually look at them on the front here because we've got more sunlight out here. Okay. So we've got some white. I'm not changing anything about the Silphco building either. I've seen like one or two people do stuff with it, but this thing is a monstrosity. I'm not touching that. That's not a job for me. I do think I like the yellow. I think the white is maybe a bit too pale for here. It's a bit washed out. The pink would probably work, but I don't like pink a whole lot, and I think if I had that all the way around, that would not vibe with me. But I do think I like the yellow. I don't like this original mosaic tile. I'm not a fan of that one. Yeah. I'm feeling the yellow. I think that's the go. It's nicer than that mosaic tile for sure. Yeah. And it does tie in, like, as we know, yellow and purple do go together. They're complementary. And then it ties back into the building because this has got a fair amount of yellow on it too, to be fair. Yeah, definitely pink near. Contrasting, thank you. Contrasting colours. And then, yeah, definitely pinks and purples for Tink's place. Pinks and the mysterious stone for the fairy Pokemon. I really want to do on one of the other Skyland islands. I really want to do a like an open airy type of, not mansion, but an open airy type of manor sort of house for Gardevoir's family, because I think that would be cool. Alright, now we have to find Smeary again. He's probably run away. Sometimes he literally sees me coming and then turns around and starts trying to run the other way. But he's not very fast, so he can't get away from me. It's pretty funny. But at least I don't drag him around everywhere. Could be worse. Let's do... Yes, like a Roman villa. Yep, that's what I was trying to picture in my mind, Fern. You are spot on. Also sort of like if you've read Akatar, like the House of Wind that's in the Night Court, that sort of vibe as well, which has lots of open airy type situations, a lot like Roman villas, but up high, because we're in the Skylands, so everything is up high. Alright, and we'll turn those yellow as well. Yeah, if you're into Romantasy at all, Fern, I would recommend it. It is quite good. A lot of people say you have to get through the first book to, to actually like get into the story and stuff like that, but for me personally, I loved the first book all by itself when I read it for the first time, and I was absolutely sat for the rest of the series. But a lot of people didn't really like the first one as much. Hey, knowing your strengths is half the battle, Fern. It's absolutely important to know what you are good at and draw on that for your strengths. My main strengths, what would I say my main strengths are for this sort of stuff? Definitely, well, yeah, a lot of my strengths revolve around animal type stuff, because that's mostly what I work with, which is sometimes a little bit depressing. I'm like, I can give you some random animal facts if you would care for one of those. Yeah, that's fair, Fern. Romantasy is not for everybody. Absolutely. I didn't think it would be for me, but I had fallen into like a huge reading slump, and I wasn't really feeling like anything was giving me the same kind of like energy in terms of like the enjoyment of the reading as like my childhood favorites like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter and stuff did, and I was really annoyed by that. But then I kept seeing people talking about Akatar, and I was like, well, I'll give it a go. And yeah, that was the missing piece for me. But also, I have seen, and I think I agree, that it is like that romantasy type stuff kind of feels like it's more written for like millennial women like myself, like those of us who are in our 30s and 40s, it's probably more for us. I was always a fantasy reader when I was younger as well. Thank you for the potato seeds, Metang. Yeah, loved Percy Jackson. I don't know Redwall and Roman Mysteries though. But yeah, Percy Jackson was such a vibe. I didn't read all of the other series that he did though, like all the like Magnus Chase and the other Percy Jackson series when he was with the Roman camp and stuff like that. I didn't read all of those because I wasn't really as interested in that sort of stuff. I did, not that I wasn't interested in Egyptian mythology because I very heavily was when I was younger, but I just wasn't heaps interested in that as a series, I think. Let's get that out of here. Can I make it do... Oops. Yes, very nice. Okay. Yeah, I reread like the original Percy Jackson series a year or two ago, just to see if it would you know, have the same pull, the same vibe for me as it did before. Oh, that's not what I wanted to get rid of. And it did. It very much did. I've been reading the Artemis Fowl series with my son as his bedtime series because we finished... What were we reading before that? I think we were reading Harry Potter, but he was also doing the audio books of that with his dad, and I was like, there's no point hearing the same story twice at the same time. Oh, Redwall sounds cool. I definitely would have liked that as a kid if I'd seen it. But yeah, I love Artemis Fowl. Such a good book series. We got to like one sad part that I had completely forgotten about the other night, and I am like a massive crier in the sad parts of books and movies and stuff like that. So I was like trying my best to hold it together so that I could finish the... I think I did not want to get rid of that actually. Yeah, I was trying really hard to keep it together so that I could like finish the sentence that I was saying, and I wasn't doing a very good job of it. And my son was like, "Are you okay, Mum?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just sad right now." And he was like, "Oh, that's okay. I don't really get sad." And I was like, "Well, good for you. Okay, some of us do." But yeah, I'm a big sap for that sort of stuff. Yeah, that sounds really cool, Fern. The Roman Mysteries as well. That would be really interesting to read. Oh, PP again. I swear to God. Okay. I don't know if I really want to touch this side at the moment because I don't want to have to relocate my little porries. Are they all in here, or is it just Porygon 2? I think it's just Porygon 2. I don't want to have to relocate them right now. I'm also not 100% sure what I want this side to look like, because we will definitely need to shave some of this cliff down. Because like I said, I'm not that bothered if these are like big squares, because that just makes a little bit more sense to me. I don't care if they don't look supernatural. Oh yeah, that's cool. I think I do have Audible, so I'll have to have a look for the Redwall audiobooks. I don't listen to audiobooks super often, which is only because I feel like I'm not a person that can listen to that and then also do something else at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I can't multitask that way. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I don't live very far away from where I work, so I don't have a lot of opportunities to listen to audiobooks. But I do like them, and I would like to listen to them more, because sometimes I don't feel like eyeball reading. You know when your eyes get really tired and they feel itchy and stuff? Hate that. And like you want to keep reading, or you want to start reading or whatever, and you're like, I cannot physically do this. My eyes won't let me. Come on. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've come across any series, I would venture to say, where you can read the books of it in any particular order. That's pretty good. So they're sort of like standalones that are interconnected in that way. That's cool. Alright, what time is it? I think we'll probably do about another half hour. Oh, there goes Gyarados. Probably about another half an hour, and then I will head off because it's getting close to my bedtime. Okay. Yeah, so I do want... It's lunchtime there, Fern. What's for lunch? I had a toasted ham and cheese sandwich for lunch today. My mummy made it because we were over there visiting. I really hate terraforming, you know? Alright, that's roughly in line with itself. Oh, that sounds nice. Halloumi and potato waffle and sweet chili sauce. That sounds good. Okay, I think we can at least do this part, I reckon. Because I think I want most of this... Excuse me, sir, please. Please. Oh, what now? Now what do you need? We've already spoken today. Thank you so much for the leper berries. Yeah, I can't say I eat a lot of halloumi. I think it's kind of funny when people call it squeaky cheese. Because, I mean, obviously it can be a bit squeaky, but I've had, like, fried halloumi is really nice. I think that's quite good. It is a pretty summery type of cheese. Like, I feel like most cheeses have more of a warm, like, wintry type of vibe to them. my favourites are Brie and Camembert, both. Oh my god, Gyarados, can you not, please? Get out of the way, sir. I'm trying to do stuff, and I never see you, and today you just decide to be right there. Oh my god. So rude. I better collect these leper berries before somebody else gets upset about it. Okay. This is looking a lot cleaner over here. I like this. Because I don't think I want to do like full-on parkland all the way around the Silphco building, but just like, whoops, just sort of spots where, you know, you might find the people who work in this massive building having their lunch breaks and stuff. I know it's got like a rooftop garden situation, but not everybody wants to be up there, you know? Maybe some of the workers are afraid of heights. We don't know. Yes, coffee shop and food court. Yes, that is a great idea, Fern. Yes, we could do, they could both be, we could do little like food trucks, like coffee van and food trucks. Yes, and then like just a little bit of seating and stuff, and then we can keep the fountain as well for vibes. That'll be so cute. I've seen a few people like make cars and like little food truck type vans, so I can follow one of them, and that'll be super cute. How do I want this intersection to look now? Yes, different colours for different cuisines. I love that. I love making things colourful like that. I think that's why I've been really taken with what I started doing in Bleak Beach as well, because I started making things colourful based on the main colour of the Pokemon who live there. And so we have like the Mareep line have a pink house, and Piplup and Prinplup have a blue house and stuff like that, and like Torchic's family have a yellow and orange house. Okay, I like how that is looking. And then yes, we'll do some food trucky stuff over there. I don't think I really want to build this out. I feel like I want to push it back in on this side and just have a bit of nature there, I reckon. And we could potentially, I know I said I wasn't going to do anything to this building, but we could figure out a way to make another door from this main reception type area, possibly, if it doesn't make enough sense to like go out the front and then come around the corner. Or I guess, to be fair, they can come out here anytime, and we can just punch through the back here. I reckon we probably could. Yellow and red for pizza, pink for baked goods, brown for spuds and baked potato stuff, blue for fish and chips, green for salady things, and orange for curry or Chinese food. Yes. I love a good curry. We have lots of good Chinese shops around here too, which I'm always very happy about. Yes, employee exit, exactly. I reckon, let's have a look where this comes out. Because it doesn't have, like, obviously, I'm not thinking about whoever's visiting this place. We don't care where they go to get food from, or even if they get food. Okay, so that's pretty easy. If we just do, excuse me, if we just do here, and then it's almost like a hidden employee exit. That's not bad. We'll just do a 2x2. And then I will definitely, I'm going to have to move these around. They look a bit silly like that anyway. And maybe I'll recolor the pop art sofa because I don't like that color. Yeah, that's totally fair, Fern. What kind of Chinese food dishes do you tend to cook at home for yourself? I don't think I cook anything that would technically be counted as Chinese food. Yeah, green and yellow is a good call for the pop art sofa. Yeah, Indian and South Asian curries are delicious. Yeah. Oh, we're missing a tree here too. You know what? We do all that work for Tinkmaster. We get all those resources and things together for her, and she can't even actually finish off the building properly. Like if you look at this properly, like there are still blocks missing. I very rarely come in here, to be honest, and the fountain has bits that are cracked stone instead of proper stone. So since we're in here, we may as well fix that back up. But yeah, we've got bits of wood wall missing over there and over there. There's a bit of, do I have, oh I do have iron tiling. So let's just throw that in there since we're here. I just, you know, I wasn't looking for more restoration projects. I just did a whole one. The SSN took me so long. Oh, and there are broken windows here too. For goodness sake. The curse of the PP strikes again. Put that in your pockets. I always forget that this is here, actually. And I get more chili sauce. That's great. Yeah, that sounds good, Fern. I love honey soy. That's one of my favourite flavours too. I feel like sweet and sour chicken, I think, is not one that we get a lot of here in Australia. Sweet and sour pork is really popular, but not so much sweet and sour chicken. But I think it is quite popular where you are, isn't it? Yeah, so I think we'll shave off. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm scared of falling down and dying again. I'm not going to do the whole piece of cliff right now. We'll just do this section to remind myself later. That's not what I want. I want this one. Okay. So I reckon we'll just make that little bit a 2 wide. Who is that? Oh, Persian's out and about. I hardly ever see her around the place. Yeah, chicken and pork's always good. But that's fair. That's fair. 100%. Halal with no pork products. That would be annoying if pork was like a huge favourite of yours, because it makes it a lot harder to get a hold of, but very understandable. Okay. What was I going to do? I was going to colour those pop art chairs, yes. Let's go and do that. And then we'll put them back. I may as well get some doors since I'm going back to the wastelands. Some doors for the employee exit. Oh, and some more iron stairs, or steel stairs, whatever they're called, because some of them are broken and I haven't fixed them. Oh, it's Mimikyu! I will always do a quiz with you, Mimikyu. My little bestie. Who's heavier? Surely Tyrant's heavier. He's a dinosaur. And you are a ghost. Yes, good. I was going to be worried if Mimikyu was somehow heavier. Thank you. Now, if you're wondering why it looks like I have fenced Mimikyu in here, look, she's not in a cupboard. Technically, that's the attic space. Look, guys, it's not Mimikyu is my favorite, okay? She was my first Pokemon tattoo on my leg, all right? But I realized after I had done my whole house and everything, and I was so proud of it, and I had my Ditto flag down there, I realized it meant that I... Look, Mimikyu does need help. She does need help, and I do my best, but I still worry about her. But I realized that I kept waking up in my gaming chair in here. I kept waking up in this chair, and that was not it for me. Hi, Carol Ball. Please correct me if that's wrong. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. At the moment, I've just been working on the Skylands, just trying to tidy up the edges of some of our islands up there. What did I come down here for? Stairs. Iron stairs. I don't think I need heaps. 20 should be enough. And then what kind of a door would be good for an employee exit? Maybe the brainy door? Or the simple door? I don't think the rustic door doesn't really make sense in that context. I don't think. And then I think we do more iron fencing instead of that harbour pole. And then what else did I see that needed fixing? I think iron plating, I think, is what was used. That stuff. What else did we see? Oh, wooden wall. Oh, I've only got one piece. Okay. We'll take that bit and make some more. Oh, Carol, I am with you 100%. It took me so long to organize all of this stuff and to decide where everything was going to go, and I still get it wrong sometimes. Yeah, exactly. You know where most things are, and that's the important part. But yeah, I still sometimes put things in the wrong boxes. I don't think I wanted anything else from here. I think that was it. Well, if it's not, I'll just come back again. That's what typically happens. That's mostly what I end up editing out in my videos, by the way, is all the back and forth that I keep doing between my storage, Smiguru, and whatever space I'm working on. Now, I wonder if he's still home or if he's wandering around. Oh, he is home. Yeah, I think getting the crafting materials around your workbench is like half the battle. I feel like once you've got that sorted, you're G. Alright, now I feel like the lime green. Yeah, I feel like the lime green suits the yellow the best. Even though it's not heaps the vibe that we were going for, but I think it makes the most sense. I don't really use the proper green, whatever shade they've decided that is, verdant green or whatever. I don't think I hardly ever use that. It's fine. It'll work. Look, we'll put it in there, and if we don't like it, we'll change it to something else. Maybe blue and yellow. I was struggling with colours, Carol. That's what I was struggling with. I'm almost always struggling with colours and choices. But my day's been going well. It is 9:20 p.m. here, so I'm not going to be streaming for heaps longer because otherwise I'll be awake for hours and I won't go to bed at an appropriate time, which means they do. Whoops, I forgot I wasn't on Magnum Rise. That was a bit embarrassing. They absolutely need to add more colours. We need way more variety in the shades that we can choose because it's just, this is not it. It's not enough. Okay. Now that I've done that, now this is an uneven space over here. But if we make them a corner, not too close, that's all right. Yeah, the color stuff in this game is something that you definitely go for it, Carol. How many hours have I spent on this game? Probably too many. Let's have a look. I haven't checked recently. 525 or more. That's a lot, but that's okay. It's only because I'm consistently obsessed with it. My hyperfixation has not gone away as yet. Oh, well, that makes me feel a little bit better, Carol. Not as bad as the last person. 700's a lot. That's crazy. Okay, so simple door's not bad. Yeah, that's fair, Carol. I think if I didn't have a full-time paid job that I do, I probably would have more. Oh yeah, the automatic doors? Yes, that's a good call. Let's see if I can craft some... Oh, hang on. Before I forget about that, fix that. Let's see if I can craft some. I reckon I can without having to go back to the wastelands. But this situation, Carol, is a little bit of a mess. This is the bit that I have been dreading working on, and that's why I started up in the other one across the way. Fern, that is so valid. Nobody needs to know how many hours we spend on Animal Crossing. That's private information. And how dare you ask? My main island, as in which one I spend the most time on, Carol, is probably also the Wastelands for me. That's where, like, the storage that I was in before, that's my main stuff. And Bleak Beach is the only one that I've made. Is it connected? No, of course not. Why would it be? Yes, the 3DS one. We were talking about that before. That's the New Leaf. That's New Leaf. Okay, let's rearrange these poles. I don't actually need them to go all the way to the front anymore. That was originally where I had, whoops, where I had the Pokemon, but obviously it's not there now because I moved it. I wouldn't necessarily say that this game is better than Animal Crossing. I know a lot of people keep comparing the two, but in my opinion, I would argue that they're quite different games, really. I think they are just as good as each other, and I'll eventually go back to Animal Crossing once I have finished being obsessed with this game and I run out of steam, which will happen because it always happens. But I struggled with this game in the beginning because the building system feels very Minecrafty. Yeah, Carol, that's the comparison that I've heard a lot, and I agree with that. There we go. Okay. That's cute. We're in it for the long haul. I reckon I want that to be mosaic floor 2. There we go, there it is. Yeah, I think New Horizons is really nice for decorating for sure. It would be cool to have more villager interaction. I have heard people say that a lot, that like the Pocket Camp mobile game and that sort of stuff, and some of the older iterations of Animal Crossing were better with the villager interactions and the dialogue and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the next one. Yeah, this game is definitely good for those who are super creative. What am I looking for? Grass. Do I have any left? A little bit. And then this is going to have to be cobblestone up the side here, I reckon. When you say main island, Carol, do you just mean which one you sort of use as your home base, or are you talking about like your pallet town and stuff? Because I can tell you now, my pallet town, she's not doing so good. Pallet town is a bit sad. She's going through it. She's just waiting for me to gather the energy to demolish what I started doing, so that I can make some better choices, I think. Now, I do think I want to keep... where I like to build the most in. That's okay. That's all good. I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were asking. I probably build the most in Bleak Beach lately. I have done, I haven't done a lot of work up here. Like what you can see across in that island, that's as much as I've done here so far, just those 3 main buildings. And then little bits of restoration work up here. The wastelands, well, yeah. I just really like the vibes that I started putting together in Bleak Beach. We'll go and have a look, because I didn't, I'll show you. Because I didn't record heaps of my Bleak Beach stuff. I just started putting houses together. Yeah, I like playing while watching other people do streams as well. It's really fun. It makes it feel like you're playing together in a way. Right, so this is my Bleak Beach home. This is my bedroom. I love the Jirachi lamp. It's so, so cute. And of course, I have to have my gaming PC in the bedroom, clearly. And then this is our little lounge room and a little bit of I'm a big reader, so I've got my bookshelves and some tea set up next to it. But yeah, so everything in Bleak Beach is kind of what's the style called? Mid-century modern, I think is what it's called. Like very 50s, 60s-esque style building. Yeah, I agree. 100%. But yeah, so that's my house. That's probably the biggest house here, but it's mine, so I'm allowed to do what I want. This is where the Chansey line live. So they live in that one together. This is Zorok. Thanks, Carol. This is Zorok and Zorua and Absol. Oh, I know. I do things like that too. I see stuff that other people have done, and I'm like, oh, I need to get back to fix up that sort of stuff. Fix up my mistakes and pivot. This is where the garbage boys live. So Trubbish and Garbador are downstairs. And they've got a humidifier because I think it was Trubbish likes it humid. And then upstairs around the back is Muck. So, oh, and Muck is home. I'm so sorry, sir. Sorry to disturb you. So Muck lives upstairs. They have trash homes because they're trash boys. And this is Minchino and Cinchino's house. So that one was probably one of my favorites to build as well because they're on the corner. But they are super cute. I love the little mice. Oh, what's up, Ampharos? Oh, thank you. Cute flower seeds. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, Carol, I do have those feelings as well. Seeing some of the stuff that I see people post in Reddit, I'm like, I could never. I just could never do anything like that. And then I'm like, my stuff is so, like, small in comparison. No, Fern, I promise this is not a gravestone. I promise you. It's listed as a garden ornament. And it's the, I forget what they're called, tandem mouse, I think. Or is it, whoop, that's not what I wanted. Or is Mousehold what they call the evolution? I don't think I didn't really vibe with tandem mouse. Yeah, I think it's a log that they're sitting on. But it's so cute. I love it. Hey, Mr. Mello, welcome in. Welcome in. We're just sort of having a look at Bleak Beach at the moment. But yeah, that's them. I love, like, one of the other things that I love doing is watching the gatherers. You're not wrong, Fern. The text does give very memorial vibes. And you know what? That's on the Pokemon Company. I don't make the rules. But this is the first one that I did. This is giving Barbie's Malibu house, in my opinion. That's where Mareep and her family live. I love that little pink house. It's super cute. It's so cute. And pink's not my favorite color, but it's obviously Mareep. It's Mareep and Flaffy. Ampharos, please don't do that. That was so unnecessary. But yeah, and they've each got a little backyard where they look out over the river and the ocean. And then yeah, this is Piplup and Prinplup's house now. what's his face? Empoleon did live here as well, but he was too big to even properly get in and out of the back door here, and that was really starting to annoy me. Oh, no worries, Carol, thank you. I definitely have put a lot of energy into Bleak Beach. Yeah, literally, Fern. He couldn't even, and he's not even that tall. I was like, mate, you are doing way too much. Yes, Mr. Mello. This is usually the second area that people choose to go to, because I think you open Bleak Beach and Rocky Ridges at the same time. I definitely chose Bleak Beach first, and I think that was a good call for me because I was intimidated by Rocky Ridges for a very long time. But yeah, he was so big, apparently, according to himself, that he couldn't fit in and out of that door. So every time I needed to use honey to summon him, he'd summon inside the house every time. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think the bit that really helped me to figure out what I actually wanted to do here, because I just had all those like the orange cottages and stuff from the hello Mark from the remains that I left behind, and I hated the color of this what do they call it, the square tile, I think it's called. I really didn't like the original color of it, the yellow, and so I changed that, and then everything else made a lot more sense in my mind. And then yeah, oh, and all of the red rock, I'm slowly, oh, Victory Belt, what do you need? Yes, hello. We are very close friends. Thank you so much. More seeds. Bean seeds now. I've got, my pockets are full of seeds. I feel like a bird lady. I'm the pigeon lady at the park. I redid the restaurant as well. I sort of kept the original shape of it, but just made it have a bit more of a coastal vibe. And I get cyan featuring quite strongly here again. It's my favourite colour in this game, I think. And then this little park space, I saw a picture, I think from Reddit, of somebody do something similar in this spot here, and I thought that was an excellent idea. And then I was watching Fleurs. I don't know if you guys see her stuff at all, but definitely watch her as well. I mean, she hasn't built in Pokopia in a little bit, but the stuff that she has done is so pretty. And I was watching her building her pirate ship situation, and I thought, I want a pirate ship, but I want like a toy pirate ship, like what you have in children's playgrounds. I don't know if that's common where you guys are all from, but in Australia, a lot of our kids' playgrounds have a pirate ship to play on, and they're really cute. So I thought, I don't know who has opened this curtain, but that's not what we're doing, because that's the sail. And Voltorb lives in the grass right next to it. I was actually trying to put his habitat back together again to be part of the pirate ship, so that he was living on the ship. But it really wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And then he kept, because I'd brought him over here to get him to live here, he kept going in the cannon. And I was just like, no, mate, I don't want to shoot you out of a cannon today. I just want to make you a home. Please, sir. So he lives in the grass here instead, and Electrode lives in the grass under this tree. So they live in the playground / park. And I really like that little spot. Ferry boats is an interesting one. No worries, Carol. Have a good rest of your day / night. Hopefully we'll catch you next time. It was really good meeting you and having you in the chat. And then this will be the, what was it called? The Pokemon Fan Club. I learnt that that's what this building originally was, and I really want to redo that. So I haven't done anything to that spot yet, because that's what I want to do there. And then I don't know what to do next to it, where this is the pour me line in this house at the moment. And then, one of the first things I did here, which I'll show you guys quickly before we head off. it definitely, Voltorb and Electrode are apparently very on board with pirates and colonization. I don't know why. So again, I was inspired by somebody else who did a Moslax temple restoration, and so I wanted to do a Moslax temple restoration, and so this is what we have. And this, doing this bit, put it in the quote book. Yeah, this bit was where I started changing all of the red rock to white rock and stuff. Fern, you will love the moss in this game. It's so relaxing and pretty. And when you have like these little glowing mushrooms and the lights that you can make out of them, the glowing mushrooms have, you can sort of see it now, but it's more obvious when it's darker, but they have like a little sparkle to them, like a little fairy sparkle kind of thing. It reminds me of the glowing moss pond in New Horizons. But yeah, and your footprints, you make footprints in the moss, which I absolutely love. And then I wanted to just have like a little park-ish area so that you can sit here and you can observe the moss and the lax, you know, and just feel peaceful and listen to the fountain. But yeah, that was one of the first bits I did, and then I was like, okay, I know what we're doing here now. I know what the vibe is. I understand the assignment now. And then this little bit is just a little cute water housing situation. We have Lapras lives out here. She doesn't bother Moslax anymore. Oh, okay, but she is apparently going to bother me through the wall. Thank you. Is it more seeds? Oh no, it's fluff, because I don't have a million pieces of fluff. Thank you so much, Lapras. I love you. Wingull and Pelipper have their post office here. Which game is it in? I feel like, someone correct me if I get this wrong, I think it's Gold and Silver, where you meet that person that that has the Wingull that they want you to send a letter or something like that because their Wingulls won't do it or something along that line. I can't remember exactly. I've just got the picture in my head. Yes, Fern. It was giving like Tahiti, you know, Tahitian, Southeast Asia for sure, kind of vibes. That's what I wanted. And I wanted to make like a little neighborhoody sort of section out here. And I think I already had the prefab little huts there. But yeah, so Wingull and Pelipper run the post office here, which is why, look, it is cramped, but that's beside the point. Don't worry about that. You know, they're birds. They're fine. They have a nest up here, and I made these like the hatch windows so that they can come in and out of them because I've seen them do that before, and it's so cute and I love it. And they have like, this is the little hatch window for services, for servicing. You put your things in there and they give you your parcels and stuff, and the little letterboxes and stuff. It's just so cute. It's adorable. I don't remember why I put that hammock down there though. I don't think that's meant to be there. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so that's what I've done here so far. Oh, over here is going to be, I have to move this house again. This is where Pikachu and her little babies live. So I'm going to have to move that out of the way. And then here is going to be like a tavern, but make it modern, you know? Like I don't want it to have that kind of medieval vibe to it, but it will be kind of like a pub, but not gross. Like not sticky floor pub, more like you have to make a reservation pub, if that makes sense. And then yeah, Fern, more Irish tavern pub sort of vibes, because it definitely needs to fit the color scheme. Bistro pub. That's the one. Because yeah, it's got to fit the color scheme and the vibes. It might be where I relocate the Marrell family to. They live in this water wheel house at the moment. And I think I will keep this water wheel and then kind of redefine that house into more of like a small shack type situation that nobody has to live in. It's just a fake building. I haven't done a lot of fake building in this game yet because I've sort of wanted to give every Pokemon a house and or a purpose. So everyone either lives in or above like a shop or a job that they have, or they just live in a house with their evolutions. And I've been really enjoying doing that. Like in Animal Crossing, you do a lot of fake building because your villagers have the house that they have and that's it. There's no changing that. And you can only, you know, disguise and hide their houses so much. But because you've got a bit more freedom here, I like that you can do like a little bit more for the Pokemon, aka your villagers. I've been really enjoying that. Oh my god, can you guys, you don't stand in front of someone's doorway, you know? That's just rude. I love those two, but you just, manners, you know? Manners are free. So the last thing I want to show you guys quickly before we head off, because it is getting a bit late for me now, is the other couple of buildings that I've done up here. So we will definitely have like a sort of park space here, and that's why I moved the Pokemon down here. I haven't powered it as yet, so no one's trading at the moment, but we'll have that here as like a sort of kiosk type situation. And then I don't know if I want this hammer to be a monument to Tinkmaster and her contributions to the Skyland, or if I want it to be her home that she lives in. It's definitely got potential for a home space, and I put 2 windmills there to help us power that, because there's not a lot of power happening in the Skylands as yet. But yeah, I sort of fixed this up a bit so it looks a lot cleaner. And then the first building that I did here, which I'm still super proud of myself for even having the idea, is that this is the detective agency run by Florigato and Meowscarada. So this is their office downstairs, where they have, that's their desks, and you come in and tell them your problems, and they try to solve them. They're not very good at it, but that's okay. This is their receptionist desk, and that is in fact Honchkrow. Let's get a nice little close up. Honchkrow is enemy number 1. They are currently solving, Fern, the mystery of how Honchkrow keeps getting away with the nefarious deeds that he's doing. And it's because he's in Rocky Ridges. Pokemon affairs, could you imagine? Murder would be diabolical. I could see berry thievery for sure. I think theft would be a big one. Theft for sure. Honchkrow's doing some stuff because he's our mafia boss. And yeah, and then this is their house. So it's kind of messy because, you know, they're kind of playing detective, you know. They don't actually really know that much about what detectives do. But I thought because Florigato's habitat is like an interrogation room, that was the vibe. That's what set me off for that one. Yeah, I agree, Fern. What pickle could you possibly be in, Electivire? I think he's over it. It's fine. Yes, I agree. Petty and minor crimes over violent crimes. I can't see Pokemon doing much violent crimes, but petty stuff for sure, and minor things like maybe a bit of property destruction and stuff. You know, I could see that. And then I absolutely love Corviknight. He's one of my favorite bird Pokemon, and so I made his evolution line a big high rise basically, but the bottom floor is the flying taxi service. So, and yes, it is only 3 blocks high, don't worry about that, but it is the flying taxi service. So like in what is it, Sword and Shield. And so you come here, and that's why I've got that bird there, even though I'm pretty sure that's a Spearow, but that's beside the point. It's so cute, right, Fern? I love this little space. So you come here and you order your taxi and you sit down and you wait for it. And these are like, that's the map of where they go, and some pics, some tourism type photos of places that they've taken people to, or Pokemon to, I should say. And then they live above it. Oh, Electivire, you're just going to have to sort it out yourself, my guy. Go and see the detectives. And so this floor is for Rookity and Corvisquire because they're little and they can definitely fit together. They all like nice breezes, so I gave them an aircon, and I am assuming it's doing the job of giving them a nice breeze, because I didn't want to have all the windows be open because that doesn't really make sense for a city apartment style building. And then of course up the top, Corviknight gets the penthouse view. He has, I love this pattern too. The Haunter pattern is the best. It's so good. I love that. But he has his little desk. He does some work there. And he has his little, that's his eating desk, except obviously he's got a flower on it at the moment, but that's fine. He's got a mirror so that he can preen in it. Right? I would love that bedspread in real life. Oh, thanks, Mr. Mello. I appreciate the subscription. I appreciate that very much. I'm glad to provide some motivation and inspiration. 100%. And then this platform up here, I wasn't super sure on it, but I have actually seen Corvisquire up here, which made me really happy. This is the pickup drop-off zone. So that's why it's only got a ladder to get up here, because this is just for Corvisquire to use. Corviknight, sorry, not Corvisquire. He will not be able to carry anyone. That poor young fellow is not heavy enough for that yet. But yeah, so this is where, right? And so I started falling in love with the Skylands as I started doing these buildings and giving the Pokemon like jobs and things to do. He could probably take a bug Pokemon. He could probably take Snivy. He could carry Snivy. He looks small. He could probably carry Vulpix, but I don't know if Vulpix would like that very much. And then, oh, little Spriggy. I moved Spriggy in here because I wanted her to be close to her family, but she also is a little bit embarrassed by them because she doesn't want to be a detective and she thinks it's a bit silly because they don't know what they're doing. Thinking about, oh, you're in the Skylands as well. Yeah, I agree with Fern. I would continue the story, continue unlocking new areas and items and stuff like that, and get more recipes before you start trying to do like proper building stuff. Who is, oh, Snivy. I started trying to do building stuff before I had really unlocked anything, and it was really annoying, and it made me feel quite disillusioned with the building portion of this game because it was really difficult. So I would definitely recommend finishing the story like fully and unlocking everything that you need and then everything that you want to unlock, like in terms of recipes and items and stuff like that. Because yeah, it's definitely the sort of game that you can't just start building straight away kind of stuff. But yeah. Oh, and I started doing like pixel art type stuff. I figured out how people were doing this, and then I started doing it. And I love the little plant that I made here. And I'll show you guys because I definitely I definitely need to go because it's getting late and I need to go wind down before I go to bed. This one. So this is for the sign for when I get around to it, Score Bunny's stuff. So whatever their shop ends up looking like, they've got the fist, like a punching glove. Fighting classes would be cute. That would be cute. Yeah, no worries, Mello. It's definitely better to just make your way through the story before you start doing or trying to do all of this sort of stuff. But yeah, that's a little coffee cup for the cafe in the wasteland. But yeah, we did. You know what, Fern? We did capture Torchic trying to get into a punching bag. So I do feel like the Score Bunny line makes more sense for that sort of stuff. But yeah, as you can see, I take a lot of pictures of the Pokemon sleeping because they're adorable. Look at these two. So stinking cute. I love it. They're so cute. I love them. I love it when they are napping together and I love watching them play together. Oh, I love you guys. They're so cute. I love Pokemon. And yeah, you're right, Fern. A lot of cozy games make you do lots of resource gathering so that you can do your decorating. And then you do some decorating and then you have to do some more resource gathering. And on we go. All right, you guys. I reckon that's going to be us for tonight for me, because I need to go and head off to bed. Thank you so much to everyone that has hung out with us and joined us. I've really enjoyed this. Is my first live stream that I have ever done, and I've really enjoyed it. And being able to interact with you guys while we're doing stuff has been really fun. So if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate any new subscriptions. And if you are, thank you so much. And I will definitely be planning another live stream in the future. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.